Welcome to the Auburn Medical Group YouTube live stream, the entertaining medical live stream where viewers can ask real-time questions of real medical doctors. And here are our hosts, Dr. Mark Vaughn and Dr. Gawain Vaughn.
And welcome to the Auburn Medical Group YouTube live stream with Dr. Mark Vaughn.
Hey, I'm Dr. Gawain Vaughn.
Welcome to the show. Are you out of breath?
I am. I ran here.
You got your drink? Okay.
You like started it literally.
The sacrifice is that, okay, that mic still has a shadow right across the
I see that. Yep. Right across your face.
I got to figure something out. Man. Thank you for joining us. Today's topic is, well, it's a long title. Where's the title? Somebody have the title in front of you? Something about doctors only get 20 to 30 minutes a year.
A year. Yeah.
The doctor only gets 20 to 30 minutes.
The doctor only gets 20 to 30 minutes. So it doesn't say a year, it just says 20 to 30 minutes. 20 to
30 minutes. So we should say hi to, of course, Robert Antonio. Hello. Yes, thank you for...
Hello.
Thank you for dropping by to see the show. And of course, Lindsay's here. Yay. Lindsay Antwine, a very special patron of the show here, says, I thought Dr. G was in such good shape. He never gets out of breath. You ran how far with the dog?
We had 6 miles this morning.
He ran 6 miles this morning.
The dog wasn't out of breath. I can tell you that. He went for a 3.5 mile walk with my wife.
So special thanks to Lindsay Antwine. I'm currently dying of flu A, influenza A. Yes,
I'm so sorry.
That's the one.
It's out there. Many people are
lots of influenza A right now.
With you.
We're actually, I think, coming down from the peak,
what they said.
But still,
at least
it's
in California.
Lot.
Well, I think actually
a lot of influenza A. And Bianca, of course, in the UK, thank you for staying up to watch the show with us, Bianca. And Margaret Woodard, hello, y'all. Hello, Margaret. We're glad to have you here also.
Y'all, is she from Texas?
Is she? She could be.
We'll figure it out.
We'll find out. Margaret,
let us know.
Let us know. Where are you from?
Y'all.
And I believe all of these people are members of the channel.
Excellent.
Not all of them are necessarily on Patreon, but all of them are members of the channel. We thank you for that and give you special recognition for that. Here, I'll show you how you can tell. Like, we'll bring up Bianca here.
It doesn't show on there.
Oh, they don't see it. Only we see it. Oh,
which is
okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe. Are they all? Maybe not. Maybe it's just showing that that's our channel. I'm not sure. But Hilda Bauer also is saying hello. Hilda, thank you also for joining us. The 20 to 30 minutes that I was talking about in the title for today's show is referring to the time that we get with a patient, during an appointment. Of course, when I say 20 to 30 minutes, that's our office, not the typical primary care provider office that we hear of. So it's actually kind of unique. Let's also go ahead and let Bianca have a little say here. Bianca. My dad's still not home from the hospital. We were talking about this in an earlier episode where Bianca was telling us about her dad. He's on fast track, though, but it's going slower than a teen crossing the...
It's going slower than a teen...
Does she drive around Placer's campus?
I was just going to say, I've got a freshman son. I know exactly what that means.
We were that teen at one time. Yeah. And the intersection I'm thinking of is Agard and Orange.
Yeah. Oh, I know the exact one you're thinking of too.
Between upper and lower campus.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you for giving us memories of high school days.
Don't go through there at 12 o'clock. That's right. Yeah.
Oh, Margaret is in Opelika, Mississippi, and we also have Bianca, our GP, our limit is a 10 minute
10 minutes.
Okay, so already there's something significant about our title with that. And of course, Lindsay loves Bianca. Hilda, rarely get a doctor visit that lasts that long. Bianca loves Lindsay. Yahtzee, hey doctor.
Lots of love going around. LOL.
Thank you. Lots of love. LOL. The 20 to 30 minutes is our office, where that's not too unusual for us to spend that much time.
Yeah.
But yet, 20 to 30 minutes does not counter...
That may not be enough.
What the person is getting fed to them most of their waking hours, and some of their sleeping hours if they fall asleep with something in their ears playing.
To some news channel playing in the background.
Or some podcast about vaccines or whatever. And this is what we're we get the 20, 30 minutes to try to be an influence and the doctor who's been to medical school and residency and is licensed in the state and can keep up med and does this day in and day out. Okay, I wrote all that introduction, that description for today's show after seeing one patient, my first patient of the morning.
Yeah, it was an experience seeing you after that. Yeah.
Yeah, the thumbnail for today's show, if any of you saw it, it says it all. Thank you for taking my picture this morning. And you it happens to you too, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, we go through all our training, tens of thousands of hours,
and we have the responsibility
at the point we're at right now, probably hundreds of thousands of hours. And we, make our vow to take care of people, to make sure we're up on the science, that we are doing our part of the research.
100,000 take about 50 years. So.
Would take that long? I'm getting there. Tens of thousands.
So I'm definitely halfway.
You're almost
50,000 hours
You're almost there.
Easily.
Yeah. So we do all this, and it is a commitment on our behalf. And then sitting in front of somebody for regular office visit, giving them our expert opinion. As doctors, we are experts in the field of medicine, and sometimes just being told, no, that's not right,
and yet honoring their autonomy. Right, because we believe in autonomy. We don't believe
we don't shove things down.
Telling people to
we don't pinning down people and vaccinating them.
We don't.
No,
we don't do that. We let people make their own decision, but it is painful. The reasons sometimes they come up with for not going with a recommendation. Sometimes I'll say, I understand. If that was your understanding and that was your experience, I understand why you make that choice. And if they don't want to hear me go any further, I also respect that. I don't talk at them.
Yeah.
But the picture says it all.
Yeah. I actually listened through a series on Embedded, like a podcast. Mm-hmm. They have a 3-part series on a reporter who has a father who's kind of gone down the rabbit hole of some of the conspiracy theories. And his dad actually proposed to him, I'm going to make these 10 predictions that are all going to happen in 2024. And these are like outlandish predictions, like the Obamas are going to be tried for treason and like things like that, like down the rabbit hole kind of conspiracies. And he bet his son $1,000 for each one. He's like, these are going to be done. These are all going to come true by the end of 2024, or I'll pay you $10,000. End of 2024. And like marriage was on the rocks. Families kind of falling apart because the dad's gone so far down this rabbit hole. They do this at the end of the 2024. Come January 1st, 2025, his son confronts him and says, none of these came true. So dad's like, yeah, you were right. I was wrong. Here's the $10,000. Got my dates wrong. It's going to be 2025. like typical conspiracy theory playbook. Let's just extend them. But all that to say, like the influence that people have on people, that the influence that is hours and hours is enough to impact beliefs. And when you impact somebody's beliefs, we're just doctors. We can't counter that. What do we know? When it goes that deep.
But it's so many patients.
Do you think that's because of the area we live in? Because we are in a more conservative area, that specifically conservative city, that you think? Or maybe because the patients we have.
Because of the community within
our community,
that geography that we grew up in.
That knows us and wants to see us. Yeah, that's possible.
That knows our name, knows our family.
Took care of us in the
nursery.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if that may play a role.
Yeah. But yeah, some of the things are outright conspiracy theories about vaccines and about even general understanding of how the body works and how modern science works, how approval processes work, how the scientific rigor of proving something works. Like people just don't always have the knowledge to understand that. We take classes just on understanding stats and understanding how to read
Pre-test probability, post-test
Well,
probability.
yeah, that's what I say. How to read like scientific papers, and even then, when we read those scientific papers, we're not the ones doing the research. The people say they do their research. No, they're reading.
No, they do.
People who do the research
We know
are called
people who do research.
Scientists.
We've been in their labs.
Yes.
We've joked with them.
Yes.
Over
Oh man.
lab bench things that
Yep.
they're actually doing. We've seen.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen.
I
Hate to say it, but I did in medical school. I did see one of my classmates decapitate a rat because that's what they had to do to get what they needed a certain way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My research was done in
rat guillotine. It was
chemistry, so no
hopefully
decapitation done.
Hopefully that kind of thing is not as accepted and as widespread as it used to be.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah.
It probably still exists, but
but you probably should look at the chats.
we should look at the
Got
chats because something's in color there.
Yeah,
it's got like a highlight color.
A highlight saying.
Do you know how I get back up to it?
There it is.
How far? What?
Well, there's a lot. Well, there's a lot we haven't done, but
woohoo! We did it.
I'll drink to that.
Okay, let's end the show. Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you. Just a little something since I don't think I've sent a super chat. And my goodness, Lindsay.
That's not how we get people to do super chats. If we say we're going to end the show as soon as they do it.
Do you
Great.
see ya. Okay, that shadow. Do you see why we honor Lindsay so much? Yes, Lindsay. Thank you, Lindsay. Lindsay, your name is mentioned in almost every show. Apologize that it's not every. I don't always remember. But thank you. Okay, let's look at some other chats that we're coming and going.
You probably need to scroll up above that.
I need to scroll. That's what
I think
Dr.
we're
Green
on the
says.
lots of love.
Lots of love. We hit.
There we go. That's where I was.
Did we see lots of
Bianca
love?
said, "LOL isn't lots of love. It's laugh out loud." You're right. That's
Could be either.
They could.
We are only allowed one analyst per visit.
I'm just thinking about our office and how
only allowed one. Let's see, I had 12 assessments.
that's a pretty good.
Yeah, that wasn't this week or last week, but yeah,
it happens every once in a while.
It happens on occasion.
We get into the double digits.
12 different things
that we're addressing. I mean, some of those are quick. Okay.
Well, sometimes, you're stable in your
referral.
diabetes medicine. You're stable in your blood pressure, and your stage 3A chronic kidney disease, and COPD is good on the medicines. And
need a referral for your
on occasion
colonoscopy. Yeah, it happens.
On occasion.
But we got to make sure we take care of all those things.
It has happened. So, Bianca, we are only allowed one illness per visit, too. If we have 2 complaints, we have to ask for a double appointment. Okay.
So it's 20 minutes.
Whoever has you trained that's how you think, please have them train our patients to be that
Well,
way.
I think we've trained our patients, unfortunately. Not unfortunately.
It's not unreasonable to take care of a couple.
Yeah.
Especially with a bridge doing the dictation for you.
Right, yeah.
And doing the assessments for you.
That is helpful.
That does help. By the way, a bridge is not perfect. Today, I read it to a patient. He said, I did say that. Yeah. And he was right. I didn't remember him saying. So
a bridge is
something about mowing the lawn. He didn't say anything about mowing the lawn.
AI scribe tool that will write out your notes for you. So, we always double check them.
Edit your bridge.
Yes.
But Bianca, that would be frustrating if you had more than one thing going on at once.
Yeah. What if it's like a really involved thing? Like sometimes I have to spend 20, 30 minutes on one problem if it's very involved. Anyways, I don't know what they do over there if that's the problem.
So Bianca wants to know, how does palliative care work over here? So we'll go ahead and answer that.
Sure.
Not exactly what we were talking about, but we'll go ahead and answer that. So
that'll lift our spirits up.
Palliative career.
Yeah.
So palliative care is the mindset of not doing what the recommended thing is medically for everything that's going on with a particular patient, but instead working with the patient for what they want with their values. And so we like to think palliative care is every visit in our office where we have shared decision-making tell the patient the options.
Yep.
But really what it's usually used for is a setting where end of life is kind of on the horizon.
But not quite at hospice level.
Which...
Yeah, that's a judgment call.
We're known for as doctors, we're known for not instituting hospice early enough and cutting it too close for them to really get the benefit of the services the hospice offers. So really palliative care should be a mindset where you kind of ask yourself, again, should this be a hospice discussion?
Yeah.
And sometimes you'll say, well, not yet. But you're not doing everything to try to cure an illness that's incurable.
Right.
But maybe make the patient comfortable. And palliative care in our setting is really just a mindset. It's not something you make a referral to. You could write it in your medical decision making that this patient's being cared in a palliative mindset. And then there's hospice, which is if the patient died within the next 6 months, would you be surprised? If the answer is no, I wouldn't be surprised.
They're a candidate.
Consider hospice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then, of course, I look at a number of lab values that kind of my 4
give you some
indices
insight
for, what's this person metabolically like? What is the state of their body for healing disease? And if they just don't have the machinery to heal, that's another reason to, kind of consider and talk about it. So palliative care and hospice, those 2 things there. And then Lindsay, just a little something since thank you.
We'll do it again.
Thank you.
We'll show it again.
That's so good. It's worth putting up another time. I love the way it has a little shine. And it goes.
It's like gold.
It is.
$20.
She's gold. Okay, Yahtzee. Many conspiracy theories have proven true. Don't get into politics with your patients.
We try not to. We don't bring it up.
Many conspiracy theories have proven true. I'm sorry. I don't know what to do with that statement.
Yeah.
I won't say there's never been a conspiracy, but...
Yeah. I can tell you we're not the ones bringing up politics. Do you bring up politics with your patients?
No,
I don't.
I try to talk about vaccines.
Unfortunately, that somehow becomes a political statement.
Sadly. That's the other thing. People from the anti-vax camp saying, why did people make it political? And then they're given a very political, that comes from their political slant opinion.
That happens,
that is not in keeping with how we interpret data and the information that we get. Mm-hmm. That's the other thing. Patients saying, there's so much information against the vaccine. Usually it's COVID-19 vaccine we're talking about. Usually.
It's usually the one that...
so much bad information about it. So many people harmed by it. These sort of statements. Mm-hmm. And it's like it's the whole world of information about it to them. And yet I live in a world where the only place I'm hearing that is from the patient. I'm not hearing that from medical sources of information.
VAERS that documents those things.
Yeah, and I did once look at the NIH, not once, more than once, several times when we had the podcast on COVID, looking to see what's on there. And I would see these early studies that were, got published and have since been retracted because of the very, very nasty, bad use of data and abuse of the scientific method. But yet there's something out there that's not in the scientific literature that they're being exposed to and being told this is the truth. And I keep asking them, what is this? Please tell me what it is, because I'm not seeing it. It's not coming across my desk.
And I'm sure they've sent you all those studies.
They don't even know.
Articles.
They say it's real. They say I saw such and such. I never
give you something.
There's nothing in my hands when I've asked for it. Yeah. Okay. Hilda Baugh, 20 minutes is enough time
love it.
to get
if you have
the
something,
whole
send it to
medical
us.
picture. If the doctor knows his patient, pretty much yes. Yahtzee, did a frog in high school, cat in college.
Oh, me too.
So
cat.
sad.
Didn't do a cat.
I did in
pig
anatomy, in college anatomy.
Did a human in
Hilda
medical
Baugh,
school.
big if. Yahtzee, monkey talks. Hilda Bauer's green square face with mouth open. Robert Antonio. I'm a proponent of informed decisions. For me, that usually means being aware of my body and knowing what the doctor is thinking. I just like to know as much as possible. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, and
can't make an informed decision without information.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yahtzee, patients need as much time that they need. Robert Antonio, Bianca's NHS client. Yes, that's correct, Robert.
I agree. Patients need as
NHS
much time as they need. I'd like to go back to that statement.
Okay.
But at the same time, I can't spend 4 hours with a patient.
We are a limited resource.
Right, yeah.
And there's other patients.
There are not enough doctors out there as it is. And if I'm spending, well, even an hour with my patients, which I've done, I mean, that limits the time that I can spend with other people. But sometimes people need that.
But the whole
but there are also
schedule
times
after that, those people are affected. Real people are affected.
And people
by that.
do need to realize that when I'm in there, I am fully engaged to take care. But if there is a list that is 20 points long, we're not going to make it to all 20 of those points.
If they don't need to be done today.
Right. We that's called prioritizing.
And they could have called 4 months ago about half of them, but waited because they had an appointment scheduled 4 months in the future.
How we really feel about some of these things. No, for the most part, we really enjoy our visits to our patients. We don't feel. There's on occasion.
It's very hard for me to say I enjoyed that one this morning, that first one in the morning.
Well, I'm talking about
I like being with
spending time with patients. That's why we got into this. I enjoy time.
But it was frustrating. The what I expressed.
That's hard. Yeah. When you
the distrust. I trust you, and then obviously exercising distrust.
Right.
With their way of speaking. I'm okay with them saying, I choose not to get the COVID-19 vaccine you're offering. Go ahead and I will honor that choice. But to use the reasoning that was used, the source of information that were used to not even, I had no standing.
Right.
I had no standing against whatever it was that he was
felt like
told.
in that position too, where
and that's what was so frustrating.
Why did I go to medical
school? Why did I go through residency before the protections that you had? Why did I take out the loans to start a business? Why? If that's how much value there is in it to this patient, why are you coming to me?
I really hope that you had a better experience after that.
Oh yeah, wonderful patients after that.
Yeah. So it's
with all the time that was needed to take care of what we were doing today.
Good
for all of them. Yeah, it was great because we have long appointments here. Yahtzee, patients. We talked about that. Bianca, NHS LOL, you're in and out quicker than the speed of light. Lots of love. Bianca, they tell us to come back another time to make another appointment. Bianca, my dad is on fast track to come home from palliative care, but the care team he needs are dragging their heels. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Yahtzee, hospice in New York has dismissed a patient with Alzheimer's who is bedridden and not communicative. I was angry. We will sometimes have patients, what we call graduate from hospice. Where we say we would not be surprised if they die in the next 6 months, and then 6 months after that
they're still doing,
or actually thriving,
sometimes improving.
You're like, sometimes. Okay, well,
somebody who's bedridden and non-communicative sounds like it's hospice appropriate, though. I mean,
there's people who have years of being in that state.
That's true, but I mean. You
need to know more.
Yeah, you probably do. But if they're the Alzheimer's, they're non-communicative. It's hard to even know where they're
not communicative because of locked-in syndrome or something not quite as severe.
Yeah,
and just is not able to speak.
Yeah, that is where it's important.
But
to have a durable power of attorney.
Yeah.
Somebody who can speak for you.
This could go in many directions, that little bit of information.
Yeah.
Hilda Bauer, tell us patients how to better communicate with you.
So
as she's asking for it.
As I said earlier, having a list of 20 things is a lot. But having a list is important. And actually, when a patient brings in a list, I know that I can work with them to prioritize things on that list to make sure we get done the most important things that way. Because there are definitely things that I need to get done during that visit that maybe I found on their labs that they don't know about, or something I'm seeing on a vital sign that's abnormal. Those are things that are important to me.
They're not feeling at that moment.
That they don't know about. But then the list is their concern of what they're feeling about. So with that in mind, we can come up with a priority list and try to get to those as we can.
Yeah.
And that's important. That needs to be done at the beginning of the visit, though. It's very important that you don't bring out that list at the end.
No, don't do that. Don't do that, please.
Because if you bring that out and say, oh yeah,
hand on the doorknob, ready to go to the next patient.
I still got 5 more things, doctor.
Turned off a bridge so it's not listening anymore, and you can't restart it.
Yeah, man.
Oh, and what about my crushing substernal chest pain that I have every time I go up the stairs?
Yeah. Make sure that list is exhaustive. It should have everything you're going to bring up, not
at the beginning.
At the beginning, yes.
And don't go into the story about the first one in all detail.
No, let's prioritize them.
That took half the visit time.
Yeah.
And then we find out.
Oh yeah, that fourth thing is something.
And I'm anuric. And have been for 2 days.
By the way.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a great question.
Both Hilda and Dr. Gawain for the answer to that. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see here. Where did we go? Oh, yeah. Bianca was given some more details about her dad with heart cell leukemia. Very frail.
Sorry to hear that.
And, yeah. So, Yahtzee, you're right. 4 hours is way too much. My boss fired a few patients for not trusting him. Interesting. Don't think it didn't cross my mind.
Like fire somebody as a patient. This sounds like it was somebody in a work environment
for not trusting.
That fired somebody.
Yahtzee, yes, the list first. Because we say all the time, the very rare occurrences where we actually do fire a patient. Usually the language that's used in the letter is something about trust.
Yeah, a breakdown of
a relationship of trust.
Yeah.
And
we often use that, yeah.
And that is what I experience with somebody who says, I'm not doing this because of this information, and your information and your training, education, and knowledge on the subject is irrelevant compared to what I heard from my brother-in-law or read on a newsletter that I get from a political pundit or...
Right.
Yeah.
When you when you go to a doctor's office and completely disregard what they are telling you as the doctor in front of you that you made an appointment to go to, that creates a rift in the relationship. And I hope people can understand that.
Yes. Again, look at the thumbnail.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. They say, Lindsay says, how can anyone not trust you guys?
Look at this face.
They say, oh, I trust you.
In some things.
Yeah.
Apparently, not everything.
Okay.
No.
All right. Very good. So I had to get that off my chest, and I did. And thank you for being there to absorb
This is therapy. You didn't know it.
This is Dr. Mark's therapy hour.
Your session.
and yet Lindsay pays us.
This is excellent. I need this kind of therapy.
How
do I get participate?
What world do we live in?
Where we get paid?
Where the therapist pays the client. This is the best. Lindsay.
We feel so good walking away. That's probably just caffeine talking.
I'm going to feel better walking away from this session. So, Lindsay, she says she has something to say here. I'm all about a good vent session.
Good vent.
Thank you.
I'm a good listener.
Oh, okay. Here's how you tell that somebody is, I can point at it right there. This is how you tell somebody's a channel member.
Oh.
The little Auburn Medical Group button on their name when they make a comment.
Okay.
That's how you can tell that they're a member of the channel. But Lindsay Antwine is also on Patreon. In fact, she's the queen of Patreon. You'll notice that superimposed on the little Auburn Medical Group thing, it says 24.
That's how many months? Like 2 years?
That's the highest. 24 months is the highest.
That's the highest. You tapped out.
It doesn't go any higher than that.
Topped out? Don't tap out.
Don't do that. So I do feel like
wrong.
We had a lot of exchange with our audience. Thank you for commenting and participating in the conversation. Yahtzee, glad we could. Yes, Yahtzee, thank you. All of you. Oh, Bianca, lost my channel membership, but still pay on Patreon. Thank you. That's better. Anyway.
Yeah.
And we know, Bianca, we know you. So it's fine. And you always participate, and
we appreciate
you make the show what it is because you provide the material that we make fun of, or
we make fun of.
Hilda Bauer, side effects are or side effects. Either one are worse than the cures.
Effects.
Yeah, that's true. That's true for the Alzheimer's medicines that we don't recommend people use.
That's why we don't recommend.
Yeah, there's
And in
likely
some
to side
cases-
effects or more than to have a degree of benefit that you appreciate from it. That's one. We have all this discussion about NHS because of. Oh my goodness. Who did we just say?
Bianca.
Bianca. Yeah. They don't even have the
Those medications.
Aricept and Namenda.
Yeah,
and
those anticolon.
They don't even bother with it, because they're worthless.
Esterase inhibitors.
And they just don't have the same relationship with pharmaceutical companies to be giving them,
Right.
working them up as if they're an option worth talking about, because they're really not. Yahtzee, have a great week. Thank you. You too. Bianca, my dad was recommended. Are they good? No good? He was recommended? I thought in NHS they didn't use Aricept and Namenda because they know that they're just not worth using.
Yeah.
The small, it's not even really improvement. It's more like slower decline, and it's temporary.
And then it's
and you have to deal with the diarrhea, and if it's a person with dementia already,
it's a bad combination.
Yeah. So, thank you,
Yeah.
Dr. Wayne.
Sounds good.
So, until next time,
Hey, I'm Dr. Wayne Vaughn.
Dr. Mark Vaughn telling you to stay in good health.
Doctors, thank you for another informative session. Auburn Medical Group is located in Auburn, California, USA. Thank you for participating. Please tell a friend and join us again next week.